everyone. Tony Winston, Jazz Piano College. Got a request to do Like Someone in Love, and it's not a song I've ever really played before. I've got two copies here. One's from the old real book, it's in E flat. One's from the new real book, it's in the key of C. I listened to a bunch of recordings, and I couldn't find anybody who played it in C. So let's start with the one that's in E flat, and then I will run through the one that's in C. Both charts are down in the description. While you're down there, clicking on the link so you can print it out and follow along, you might as well hit that like button while you're down there. Okay, and I'd appreciate it. E flat major 7th. I don't know what I'm going to teach on this song. I think I'll just run through the song and go over some of the kind of trickier passages. So got E flat major 7th, and then G7, moving the bass down like that. Here, I don't think it's necessary to play a full chord when you have that C minor 7 with the B flat and the bass. You could just go like that, or maybe you want to play the chord. And then here, this is interesting. You have an A flat minor 7, flat 5, with a flat 13 there. And if you think about it, A minor 7 flat 5 is really kind of the upper part of an F dominant 9th chord. So why not put an F on top? And here we have A flat. Now, so all you have to do here is maybe move this down like this. You still have A flat, and then you get that one right there. And that's called the sharp 11, but it's really like the flat 5, and the old school jazz musicians would think of that as a flat 5. And then G minor. Okay. Now when you have a dominant 7th chord and there's no melody note, this is your chance to play a really rich chord. So, one thing you want to do is make sure the flat 9 is in there usually. I put a 13 in right there, but it sounds crappy, so let's take it out. Got to think where we're coming from too. Maybe a sharp 9. Be nice. Or even, something like that. Yeah, make it flow into the F minor there. All right, A minor 7 with an 11. There's A minor 7. There's the 11. And a nicer voicing is like this. This. Now, D7, we think that we would normally play the D7 on the 3rd beat. So 1, 2, there's no melody note. So what can I do? I want to make that chord rich. So the melody note's going to be the 7, so I shouldn't get any interference from a few extensions. All right, so I put the flat 9 and the sharp 9 in. You can use those two, but when you use the regular 9, you can't use either one of the sharp 9 or the flat 9 because it will sound bad. I mean, there are ways to do it. In the right situation, it'll work, but most of the time, it won't. So you got to know about tension mixing there. G minor 7th. We could put the 9th in. Even though it's so close to the melody, if you don't do it too much, it sounds pretty nice. Chopin did it. And once again, there's that E flat 7th with no melody note. I mean, we've got the F up there. So if we want to think about that, holding that and make that part of our E flat 7th chord, then what else could we add? We've got the regular 9, so we cannot add the sharp 9 or the flat 9, even if we put them like down here. It's just not going to work. So we have to look towards either the 11th, and a regular 11th just makes it a suspended chord, which you could do. It's kind of like the B flat though. But more typically would be the sharp 11. You know, if you already have the 9, the sharp 11 is good. So is the 13. Pretty nice chord. And you could even get the flat 13 in there too. Like that. We've got the 9. Sharp 11 down there. And yes, you know, I mean, why not call it a flat 5 since it's way down there? But technically, you could call it a sharp 11, even though it's not clear up here. Okay, so a few ideas for that chord. And here we have A flat major 7th, but the melody note is a 6th, so you could make it A flat 6th, or make it nice and rich with the major 7th. And this would really be called an A flat major 13 chord. All right, here's that D minor, you know, with the 11th. So let's play the song up to that point and see how everything is sounding. I don't know, to me that chord doesn't sound right there. I think it's because when you put the 9th in like that, it's too far outside of the key of E flat, right? The 9th is not in that key. So even though we're on A flat here, maybe something more like, so we don't have a 9. You could, I don't know. I'm leaving the 9th out. This is G13. Lots of ways of doing it. The 9 or the flat 9, or even the sharp 9 could work. All right, now 2 measures of C major 7th. We can do a couple of things here. We could reharmonize it, you know, something like. To get to the C minor, you know, I did like a 2-5-1. Or we could just elaborate on C major 7th. When you do one of those fast runs, think ahead to where you're going. So, you know, I wanted to end either on an E flat or something there. F7, got the root on top. So once again, on these old jazz standards, you got to look for things to add to the dominant 7th chords. So I could add about anything. First choice, flat 9. But maybe just a 9 would be nice. I'm not sure. Let's play the second ending. Ooh, how do they handle that here? Second ending. Yeah, the other chart has like an F and then the F sharp diminished. So let's try this. So, I tried a fancy chord there on B flat. I tried like the sharp 11, because it's easy to think of. You just, play a B flat 7th down here and up a whole step triad. But it really didn't sound very good, did it? It just didn't lead to the next part very well. Sometimes you want that kind of color, but more often you're going to want to do something a little more like with a flat 9. Okay, so that's the flat 9. Everything we need is right there. 13 or the flat 13, either one would be fine. Sharp 11 possibly. All right, second ending one more time, then we're going to go over the C major version real quickly. C major version for beginners, I'm going to do this pretty simple here. The first change, you really have to think about it a little bit. It's an E, so that's the sound of it, but we want B on the bass. That's an okay voicing. I think I'd rather move the D up here, play it like that. Keeps me a little closer to where I was. Same chord, D7. First I'm just going to think of the D. It's a nice classical voicing there. Don't really need the 7th. And here, if we just hold everything down and then add, what's that melody note? That is the sharp 11. Where's that chord symbol look like it is? Is it on the 4th beat or the 3rd beat? Interpret it as the 3rd beat. Though, and if they wanted it on the 4th beat, they'd put a few slashes up there so you'd realize it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And of course you could do it that way, but it's a lot more typical, especially if you're working with a bass player. They're going to interpret it with 2 beats on each chord. All right, E minor, A7. We're going to do some just regular closed voicings. This one's too low. What do I do? I'm all tangled up here. I've just got to play an open voicing. Again, what are you going to do, None of those are good solutions. So open voicing. There's G7. Melody note is the sharp 5. We are covered. Nice to add the flat 9 too. Same thing here, 2 beats on C, 2, 3, 4. Anytime you have a dominant chord in a jazz song and there's no melody note, just put the flat 9 in and then work from there. And, try other things too, but the flat 9's your first choice. There's the flat 9. this is the hardest part of the song for me to deal with harmonically. It might be I just don't like it. When I hear other people do it, I have no problem with it. When I play it myself, it goes against something inside of me. I don't know what it is. That's why I probably have never really played this song. I don't know. Something about it just didn't get me. Getting back to the, because we're in A major now, getting back to the key of C seems a little awkward the way they do it. So, you know, if I was going to do something with this song, I would try to reharmonize it right there. And I see going to the E minor, a 2, 5, 1 might work. There you go, folks. Hope I didn't drag it out too much. Like Someone in Love, both sheets are down there in the description. Have a great day. See you.